Hi everyone. How are you today? How was your weekend? Oh, mine? I'm just really happy that we're all going out again and getting back to normal and going out to places like the beaches and restaurants. In fact, I want to get started, but after class, remind me, I want to tell you about this really great restaurant I just discovered right in this neighborhood. So we'll definitely get back to that. For now, let us focus on today's lesson here in the American presidency. Uh, it is class number 2, and we're going to do 3 things. We are going to have a review of class number 1, last class. We're going to talk about today's theme, which is major American political parties. And we are going to do a little sneak preview as to what's coming next week for class number 3. So last time we talked about course grading and expectations. So basically we laid out the grading formula, what you need to do great in this course and get an A plus, which is my goal for all of you. And I think you could do it. Just follow my plan. And some tips about how to make that happen. And you know I've been sending you those reminder tips and emails and announcements, and I'm going to keep doing it. So we have plenty of time to talk about that. For now, what I'd like to do is get to our theme again, major American political parties. But before we get to the major ones, let's talk about what political parties are to begin with. Well, politics is ideas about what governments should do. So, for example, somebody might think the government should raise taxes. Somebody might say, no, lower taxes. Somebody may think our military is too big and too expensive and we need to make it smaller. Others think it's not big enough and we need to make it bigger. And so these are political ideas. Now, when people have the same ideas or similar ideas, they kind of get together in a group and they call that a political party. The bigger political parties usually run candidates for office, nominate candidates for local, such as a mayor or city council, state level, like a governor or a legislator, and national, like Congress and the president. So that's what political parties are. But major American political parties, there have only been 5 of those in U.S. history. I mean, there are tons of little parties, hundreds of them, that are so small we probably never even heard of them, some of them. But there have only been 5 major ones in American history. And so let me ask this question. Out of those 5, 3 of them no longer exist. Can you tell me what the 2 major American political parties are today? Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Great job, Maria. Democrats and Republicans. Democrats and Republicans are the 2 main parties. Now, before we get to the other 3, I'd like to show you this example of what I call how to make the living room look better. And we're going to stick with you, Maria. And then let's see, I'm going to add some people to the example. Any volunteers? John, okay. Bob and Samantha. Perfect. All right, we're all set. So, Maria, let's say you invite us to your house for coffee after class. And we're sitting around your living room and we say, Maria, that was so nice of you to invite us. Thank you. We're having a great time. And Maria, you say, I'm really glad you're all here, except I'm just embarrassed by my living room. And we say, why? What's wrong with it? Looks fine to me. And Maria, you say, no, not really. I mean, look at it. The paint is chipping over there, and over there's this big smudge on the wall, and I just don't know what to do with this room to make it look good. So a lot of us start jumping out there with ideas. John says, Maria, I think you need a complete paint job. Top to bottom, no other way to do it. It'll make the room look good as new. Bob says, No, Maria, you don't need a paint job. That's going to be expensive. You're going to have to move all the furniture. It's going to take time. You're going to wind up spilling paint all over the carpet as much as you try not to. All you need is a touch-up. Get some matching paint, touch it up over there, get some soap and water, clean the smudge, good as new. Samantha says, you guys with your paint, you're telling her paint, paint, paint. Maria's problem is paint and you're giving her more paint. Wallpaper, that's the answer. Get a good pattern of wallpaper. Get somebody to put it up professionally and you never have to worry about paint again. Now here's what's common about these solutions. They are all trying to help Maria. John and Bob and Samantha, good intentions, but they differ strongly on what the solution is. And that's the whole thing about political parties. I mean, it's not like anybody says, I want people to be sick. I want people to be hungry. I'm happy when people don't have jobs. I'm happy when people are afraid. No, of course not. Everybody wants people to be good and healthy and happy and peaceful. It's just that they vary on how to get there. So here we have the 5 major political parties in the United States. We have the name, the year it was founded, and its main idea at the time of the founding. First, you had the Federalists. They believed in a strong central government. The U.S. just got its independence from England, and they said, we've got to have a strong government, otherwise we're going to fall apart. The government's got to be strong and in charge. But the Democratic Republicans said, we got away from King George because we didn't want some big government telling us what to do, and you're going to give us another big government? What's the difference? We might as well have just stayed with England. They said, no, we need a smaller government. Let them stay out of the way. Let people make their own decisions, not be told what to do. But then you had another group who said, you are all having your big government, small government talk, but I only hear you getting opinions from the rich and the powerful and the well-connected. We think everyone should have a voice. You don't have to have money or power. And that group was the Democrats. The 4th major party said, all of you sound good, but you keep talking about the president. President this and president that. And good president, bad president. We got away from King George because we didn't want one leader. And all you guys talk about is just one leader. How about Congress is the big shot? Congress makes all the rules, and the president is a smaller role. Those were the Whigs with an H, not like a wig that you wear, the Whigs with an H. The final major political party, the newest of all of them, were the Republicans, and they came along with one main mission in mind, to get rid of slavery once and for all. Okay, so what we did today is we discussed the 5 major American political parties. And of course, we reviewed class number 1 in terms of how to do well in the course. Next time, we're going to talk about the big rivalry between the Federalists, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson, against the Democratic Republicans, John Adams and Alexander Hamilton, against the Democratic Republicans, Thomas Jefferson and James Madison, and the big political war between those two. So I'm just going to leave you with one message. Let's do a 1-minute paper on your way out. If I came to you and said, I'm looking for a party that doesn't give presidents so much authority, I think Congress should have it. Which of those 5 parties would you refer me to? That's your 1-minute paper. Thank you, everyone. And now let's go back to talking about this great restaurant in the neighborhood.